Righty, so now that the international break has approached us, now that, as I said yesterday, the Italian boys which form this team will be very busy to try and get in a World Cup on Thursday against Macedonia, and in a potential match, if we were to win on Thursday, on Monday against the potential Portugal or Turkey. But obviously international breaks have come, and it does mean that some players have travelled to their countries and trained for their national teams. Some players have stayed behind to train, to prepare the best way possible for the end of the season, for the Serie A. Now that the Derby win has definitely boosted, the end of our Serie A season. And obviously the Conference League. The 7th of April we will be playing our first quarter final against Bodo Glimt in Norway yet again. So the players which haven't got a call from their national team or did, an occasion is Tammy, who did get a call from the English national team but decided to stay back to avoid any injuries because the matches were useless. So he stayed back in Rome. Mourinho gave a few days of break. And now, obviously, in these moments, it's where Thiago Pinto, it's where Mourinho, it's where the Fredkins have a chat about what the shape of the team, what the future of the team should look like. And one of the names which has especially popped up in these last couple of hours is the name of Charlie Musonda, which is officially a Chelsea player. He is a Chelsea player. He is Charlie Musonda, 25 years old. He is a Chelsea player. On his contract, it says that he plays for Chelsea. However, when was the last time we've seen him wearing a Chelsea jersey, playing a Chelsea match, and actually getting a call from a Chelsea manager? I have no idea. The last time was probably around 5 years ago. I was young, and I mean very young. So technically he's a Chelsea player, but technically he's not a Chelsea player, if you see what I mean. And this is where I want to talk about him as a person, first of all, him as a player. Because he is someone who has actually persuaded Chelsea to get loaned on many occasions. He got on loan on Vitesse. He went on loan to Vitesse for a few seasons. And he also went on loan to Real Betis from Spain. There is the thing to point out is that he is one of those players which many Chelsea fans, many football fans in general say he would have become amazing, absolutely amazing player, an amazing talent. But he has had very bad injuries, and I mean, this is something which we need to stress on. Very bad injuries, which in fact is a big reason of why he's not playing, and he hasn't been playing football for the last, couple years, 3 years. So this is where the big question mark lays. Do we really want to get someone who is potentially done? He's had his greatest time of his career, and now everything is dropped. His value was quite high when he was at his best, and now he's only worth 1 million. Obviously, the only reason why we can see Roma being linked to him is the fact that he is a free agent in June. And obviously, we would never, no club would ever pay the amounts of money to buy him. We don't have anything against him, but unfortunately, as we said before, his injuries have kind of shaped him as a player. He is not that player as he was before. He's still young, and the part of his career which was extremely unlucky was the fact that he was extremely young when he had his injury. He's 25 years old. When it comes to the age gap, he's still a lot of years to play. But it's the level of these years which do we really want to focus on? He's someone who has been destroyed by injuries, hasn't been playing football for 3 to 5 years. Do we really want to buy someone with these effects on him when we could possibly spend a bit more money to buy better players which can actually give a shift to the team next season? And this is exactly where the oh my god, I gotta sneeze. It's allergy time. The season has come. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. It's allergy season. It's coming up. So, do we really want to invest in him when we need to rebuild a team on good players, on young players, on players which can bring this team back to top 4, fighting for the league? That is the objective of this club. That is what Mourinho and Tammy were discussing in these days. That duo, Jose and Tammy, have one objective, which is to bring this team back to where it belongs. And unfortunately, buying these players, nothing against them, but won't change the dynamics of the season. And this is why we need to be extremely careful on where we pick, because unfortunately, as we said many times, we have spent useless money on useless players which we don't need. Obviously, we wouldn't pay him because he's a free agent this summer, but we would still need to pay the wages. Something to kind of focus on is his personality. He is, and I was talking with some Chelsea fans yesterday about this. Apparently, according to Chelsea fans, he is one of the most humble football players that the world has ever seen. Kante is just on another level. But he is extremely humble. And he has said it many times that he is available to lower his wages to get back playing football. And he's asked Chelsea to do this. And unfortunately, Chelsea was very disrespectful to him and didn't accept this offer. He has said it many times, I would do anything to get back playing football. I am ready to lower my wages. So at the end of the day, if he's a free agent in June, if we were to pay low wages to sign him, you know what? Get him. For the simple reason being that the more players we have, and obviously the more players we have doesn't mean that every single player is a good player. We will have weaker players. Even if he's a weaker player, the more players we have, the more rotation we can perform next season. And one of the most important things to fix is just the depth of this team. It's improving. It has definitely improved now since October and November by buying Oliveira, by buying Maitland-Niles, which isn't amazing. You know, we can see way more rotations going on and way more understandable rotations going on. But if he's a free agent, if we wouldn't pay high wages for him, I would sign him. It's another player we can add to him, and he can still bring that talent. As Ismail M says in the chat, he was great at Real Betis. It's just that he's been inconsistent because of the way Chelsea, the clubs he's from, have disrespected him. So in a way, yes, don't buy him full of injuries, just don't. In the other way, buying him, obviously don't expect him to become, the new Tammy, because if we buy him, there is a slight chance he will start and he will be a starting 11, but he can improve your squad depth. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Next season, we do not have the time to experiment, and we don't have the time to risk by not having the squad depth. One of the few reasons of why we aren't fighting for a top 4 position, I mean we are, but it's virtually impossible. The main reason of why we aren't in a top 4 clash is partly due to the squad depth. At the start of the season, we did not have a squad depth. And it took us September, October, November, December, 4 months to try and sort it out. And it's still not 100%. Next season, if we want to achieve our objectives, if we want to get back in a top 4 clash, if we want to fight to win this Serie, if we want to fight, if we get in a Europa League, if we want to fight for the Europa League, we don't have time to prepare for it. The season starts, bang, and we're on it. And we can't waste time. And that next season will be a turning factor. It will be a turning factor. And it's extremely important. We do not have the time next season to start off eeny, weeny, weeny, losing points against small clubs. We don't have the time for that. Next season we start, and next season we end, and we need to keep the same rhythm. Obviously, we can't expect this club to win every single match. No club can win every single match. But the amount of points lost against small clubs is something to solve. And yes, he's not Maradona. Yes, we are not buying Mbappe. But he's talented. And yes, he's been destroyed by injuries. But we can fit him in, and the rotation and the squad depth will be improved even more. Obviously, if we buy him, we can't stop there. Because yes, he improves our squad depth, but it's like having a new El Shaarawy. We need more players. And one of the few reasons of why, especially in this period of time, in these last couple hours, Thiago Pinto, Mourinho and the Fredkins are eyeing out for wingers and for attackers and for midfielders, he is the same. Basically, he's the same position as Zaniolo. Guess what? Now that Dybala has confirmed that he won't renew his contract, Juventus are going to push for Zaniolo. It's there. Juventus are either choosing Zaniolo, Milinkovic-Savic, or Raspadori from Sassuolo. And out of these 3 names, Zaniolo is in pole position to join Juventus this summer. Obviously, if Zaniolo leaves, that leaves a gap in the attacking section. We would need to buy a better player than Musonda to replace Zaniolo, but Musonda can give... you see what I mean? In these last hours, a big question mark has popped up in Thiago Pinto and the Fredkins' mind about the wingers, about the midfielders, about the attackers. Because unfortunately, the reality is that Zaniolo it's a very weird situation. I wouldn't say it's 100% confirmed, but it's getting there. I mean, I don't want to sound negative, but Juventus need a replacement. And they've said it. This is clear. They've said it that they're going to try and buy Zaniolo. With a link up with Chiesa, they know each other. They've said it out loud. They're willing to buy Zaniolo. So when it comes to the Zaniolo deal, obviously I will provide more updates when we get more of that, when we get into the juicy part of that. But all I can say right now is that Zaniolo has 2 paths in front of him. He either keeps on following the loyalty path and keeps on playing for this team, but needs to step up his performances. Because if he ends the season this way, if he potentially stays another season, imagine, and plays in the same way, doesn't score the goals, doesn't provide the assists, he's too nervous, he gets 2 yellow cards, then yes, sell him. But I have said it many times that I think we should give a tiny bit more time for Zaniolo to get back fitting. So, I am biased, and I'm going to say it out loud. I love Zaniolo and I don't want him to leave. But, I totally think that we should give him a bit more time. If he doesn't perform in the next 1/2 years, yes, sell him. We've given him enough time. But, last season he was injured. So, unfortunately, Zaniolo has a big chance of joining Juventus this summer. So, as I said before, he either follows the loyalty path and stays at Roma, or he either follows the money path and joins Juventus. But that's all on Zaniolo. We can't say anything. We don't have real updates right now. But I will definitely provide more updates when it comes to that, because that is one of the most important deals when it comes to this club this summer. I mean, this summer. In the next couple of months, we will know what Zaniolo's direction will be. So, ladies and gentlemen, Musonda has been linked with Roma. Obviously, nothing is official yet. But I do think, despite all the injuries, he can still, improve the squad depth. And he's got a talent. And as someone said in the chat before, he played extremely well at Real Betis. And we need to think about this, because the season is almost over, and the second the season is over, basically psychologically a new season starts. So it's good that the Thiago Pinto and the Fredkin's already thinking about these. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will catch you tomorrow for another live stream. It will be another transfer update in these next weeks that we've got international breaks. There will definitely be more transfer updates. So I'll catch you tomorrow. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for 2,300 subscribers. It's unbelievable. That Derby vlog was amazing to film, was amazing to publish. It was all amazing. So please subscribe if you're watching this and you haven't already. Share the link with your families and friends. Like the live stream if you still haven't. And comment in the comments of the video your impressions on Musonda. Should we buy him? Should we not buy him? And he's a free agent, and he did say that he is ready to lower his wages. So at the end of the day, it wouldn't be a bad deal. Follow me on Instagram at the Roma Guy Lower Score. And as I said before, I'll catch you tomorrow for another live stream. Simon out.